All right, figuring out how to give commands with both reflexive and non-reflexive verbs. So remember that a command is simply based off the normal conjugation of the verb. It's not a new stem or a new ending or anything like that. It's the perfectly normal present tense conjugation. We're only going to focus on 3 of these conjugations though. We're going to focus on tu, nous, and vous. Je, il, elle, on, il, and elle do not exist in terms of commands. That's because you can't command yourself to do something, and you can't command a third person or a third group without speaking directly to them, in which case you would use one of the yous. The main idea behind a command is that it's the same sentence, typically, simply without the subject pronoun. So this is the exact same thing that we do in English. So you might ask someone, oh, you go to the park every evening? If you want to tell them that they should do that, you're going to use the exact same sentence without the you. Go to the park every evening. We're going to do this exact same thing in French. You can write out your regular sentence and then just drop the subject pronoun out of the sentence. For the tu form with er and a couple of the irregular verbs, we're also going to drop the final s off of the conjugation. This only happens with er verbs, never with ir or re, and it only happens with a few of the irregulars. Typically when we drop it from the irregular, we might replace it with another letter, but these are very few and far between and tend to be memorized separately. These will not appear on your final exam. Your nous and your vous conjugations stay the exact same. They don't change at all from the regular present tense. Remember though, when you're translating, most of the time in English, we only give commands in the you form, the tu and the vous. So you can translate that the exact same way that you would in English. The closest we have to a nous-based command in English is let's, saying let's go do something. So if we look at some examples, we have the sentence tu finis tes devoirs, so you are finishing your homework. To give the command, we just drop the tu. Finis tes devoirs, finish your homework. Or nous allons au café, we're going to the cafe. To say let's go to the cafe, we just drop the nous and say allons au café. And then just an example with vous achetez des livres. So you're buying some books. You want to say buy some books, say acheter des livres. Reflexive commands work the exact same way as regular commands, except we have to deal with that reflexive pronoun. Okay, so the me, te, ce, nous, vous, ce. Whenever we have a reflexive pronoun in a command, we're going to change it into a stressed pronoun. Thankfully, with commands, we only have 3 pronouns that we have to worry about, the te, nous, and vous. Since we can't use me or ce with a command, since we can't use je, il, elle, on, il, or elle. And the nous and the vous don't change when we turn them into stressed pronouns. Okay, so you have your chart at the bottom of the screen there. Te will become toi, but nous becomes nous and vous becomes vous. So the only one you have to remember is tu. The tu, te, whatever, becomes toi. Once we've done this, the only other thing we have to do is we're going to flip the position of the pronoun and the verb so that the pronoun goes after the verb. Whenever we've done this, we have to connect the 2 words together with a hyphen to show what we've done. So a reflexive command, you'll have your base verb, a hyphen, and then either te, nous, or vous, depending on what your subject would have been. So if we look at some examples, the original sentence, tu te brosses les dents, we're going to take that verb brosse, we're going to drop our final s because it's an er verb, and we're using tu. We're going to change the te into a toi, and then we flip the order so that brosse comes first, and we connect them with the hyphen. Brosse-toi les dents, brush your teeth.